Hey gorgeous! I realize it's been a little while since I've done a video diary, so I thought I'd try to update really quick with probably a bunch of things. So, first off, we rearranged the house. Not a crazy amount, we switched 2 rooms. So, originally, when you walked into the front door of the house, that was our living area, and then you'd go down the stairs, and that was our office slash LAN space area. And when we have people over, it's very hard to fit everyone in our living room because our living room area was pretty small and our couches took up most of the space. And even if we had extra people, if you wanted to sit on the floor, you couldn't really. There wasn't really the room for it. So we decided to take out all of the tables in the basement, put our couches and our TV and extra seating downstairs. And now when you walk to the house, Jake and Maya's computer are there, which is very convenient. Got used to it pretty quickly and I actually really love it. It's super nice. That has been a good change. We also had a surprise party. My parents' 40th anniversary was recently, and so my siblings and I kind of got together and planned a party. Well, my one sister and my brother planned it, and the rest of us kind of chipped in. My sister, she booked a place to eat. It's basically it was a bar, but it's a small town, so the bar is kind of where people host events, so it was kind of used to this sort of thing. We booked that and we had food ready and we invited all the family and their neighbors and their friends, and we also, well, not we, I say we, my sister did this. She looked up their wedding colors and she did all the tables decorated in their wedding colors and she put pictures of them on the tables. And one really cool thing she did that I highly recommend if you have any sort of anniversary party is she had a piece of paper and she framed it and she put it on the table. And it basically said prices of things on the year they got married and prices of things now. So sort of comparing the years, how things have changed. And then we also did a little section where she asked us, what awards would you give our parents? We wrote, Mom, best thrifter kind of thing after it. And then at the bottom, we wrote, all of their achievements. So basically, all the kids they've had and their grandkids and vacations they've been on and fun things they've done. And so we put this all on a big list that people could look at and just kind of see the comparison. I know there are probably templates online where you can find different versions of it, but highly recommend. My sister did all that, and my brother was the one who, made it a surprise, being hey, you guys want to go out to eat with us? And they brought them to the restaurant, and we all did the whole surprise thing. And it was really fun. I love seeing my parents walk around, talking to everybody, having a good time. And I was a little worried, because my dad's pretty extroverted, my mom is not so much. But I think my mom is sort of like me, we're a little both. But she doesn't like the attention on her, and so... and is worried. So I think her not knowing the party was going to happen actually made it way better. If she'd known there was going to be a party, she would have hated it. But since she didn't know and it was a surprise, then she loved it. So it was a really good time, and I was really glad my siblings came up with that idea, because if it was me, I would have just done a get together with just the siblings. So I'm glad they thought ahead and they made it super special for them. My friend Gabby came up to visit. So I made a video last time we visited her, and we went to this Thai Filipino restaurant. And I was sort of looking it up, and I found a Filipino restaurant around here that was rated 4.9 on Google, super highly rated. And it hadn't been open that long either. And we're just you know what, we should try it out. So I asked if that was fine. She said yes, and we brought them there. And it was a really good decision. So the food was great. We walked in, and I'm pretty sure the person helping us was also the owner. But the way it was set up, it's called, it's Cucina in Mounts View. It's a Filipino restaurant. And the owner slash person serving, it's basically kind of cafeteria style, where they have the certain dishes in front and you pick a dish. And then you get that on a plate with rice and then also noodles. They gave you 2 carbs, which is kind of neat. And it was different kinds of noodles, some rice, some more wheat looking noodles. It was variable. And we went up and we're oh, we haven't been here before. What would you recommend? And she said, since you haven't been here before, tell you what, I'll let you have 2 entrees instead of 1, for the price of a 1 entree meal. And we're oh, that's so nice. And so I got the chicken adobo and the pork stew. And they were both fantastic. Really I was really blown away by the chicken adobo, because chicken is one of those things that's a staple food, or has been a staple food for me in the past. Even though it's well utilized, it's really hard to, I feel properly cook chicken. So it was it was perfectly tender, seasonings were on point, and I absolutely loved it. I honestly, I feel a little bad, I can't really remember the pork stew because I was so blown away by the chicken adobo. And then Gabby got us some lumpia to share, which it reminded me kind of like of a thinner and longer egg roll, but there wasn't, I don't know if there was egg roll stuff inside or if I'm just remembering it as that because it's been a little bit. But the sauce that went with it was really good. The lumpia was really good. Really enjoyed it. There's so much food though. I also got a drink called like a calamansi, which I think is a Filipino drink. And that was also pretty good. I honestly can't remember what it tasted like though. It was very much its own thing. And I really wanted to get, I think it's called halo halo. It's like a Filipino dessert. But I was just way too full. I couldn't do it. But another cool thing about this restaurant, so it's not like a huge restaurant, but it's not tiny either. And like all the seats were filled, like, you know, it was a good place. It was also connected to a Filipino store, so we walked around there and explored a little bit. I would really recommend that place. The owner was so nice. She actually like walked around and was like, when you're here, I want you to feel like family. I want you to feel like you're home. And it really did feel like a home cooked, very like, you know, I can't say if it's authentic because I'm not of that culture, but it felt really authentic and like she put a lot of like, it felt like it was like her mom's recipes, like handed down sort of recipes. That's what it felt like there. So if that gives you any like inkling of what this place is like, I would love it if you went there. Alright, so now these next events, these are all in like one weekend. Like this was a crazy weekend. On Saturday, we had a going away party, which is sad, but it was also nice to get together. But two of Jake's friends from college are moving to a different state. So we actually got together at White Bear Meadery, which I made a video about before. And they had a party room there, and we all sat and talked and, you know, just kind of caught up because we don't usually hang out in large groups so often. Another reason why we changed our setup is because we're doing a lot of online stuff, and it's like, well, now people are leaving the state, and yada yada. But one cool thing about that is I was like, do we do a going away gift? How do we do that? And I just happened to, I don't go on Facebook, so this is weird for me. I happened to go on Facebook, and the first post happened to be from White Bear Meadery, and they're advertising their new flight board because a lot of people were asking for like one of everything, I guess, at the meadery. And so they had like a 20 flight board. And so I'm like, there we go, that's it. So if you want to order it, at least when I went, don't know if this has changed, it was $90 for the board, and it came with like the full like 20 flights, and they literally do every flight on tap. So they actually had like 23 on tap, so they gave us a separate like smaller paddle with the other remaining 3. I'm not a drink sharer, so I didn't really like partake. I got my own drinks, but all of our friends were like sitting there like sipping different ones, trying like seeing what they liked, and I thought that was super fun to see. And I was excited when all the drinks were gone, and I like put the glasses back in. I took the big board and I brought it up. I was I wanted to carry it, so that was fun. We were really glad to see everyone. We stayed for like the entire like 4-hour like party just chatting. That's really all we did, and it was really great. We would have stayed longer, like they went out to go get dinner, but we had other plans to hang out with my college friends because they wanted to do an escape room. So we went and met them. We had dinner at a restaurant first, a place called Namaste in Shoreview or Roseville or something, I forget. And we'd actually been there before, and I've had bad experiences each time. Like the first time they like got my food wrong. The second time they just didn't get my food. Like my friends were halfway done eating and I had to be like, hey, like where's my order? And they'd just forgotten it. But the third time was a charm, and the food was really great. We got like some vegetarian appetizers and like some vegetarian dishes and some lassies, and it was all really good. We were almost late to the escape room. We went and met up. Some other friends met us there because they had other dinner plans. And we went, and the place, this was definitely Roseville. This was called Hidden MN, if you've ever wanted to do an escape room. I highly recommend this one. So we've been there a couple times. Every time has been a good one, and they're all different. Like some rooms have hidden doors. Some rooms, like this one, we did like a wizard themed one, and it was just like all encased in one room, and you just had to like unlock all the locks with like clues just in that room. It was interesting because since we were late, we thought we were like strapped for time, but we got done like 20 minutes early, which like I guess sort of made up for us being late. And I actually really enjoyed this escape room, though, like all in one sort of feel of it, because I've done like a dozen or more escape rooms in different locations, and I feel like every time someone comes out like, oh, I didn't do anything, like, oh, I didn't even help. But this one we all felt like we'd done something, so that was super nice. And I just want you to know, if you've never done an escape room, like just just do it. Don't feel like you're not smart enough. Don't feel like you can't do it. The people working there, they'll give you clues if you ask for them. They'll help you out, like they have like screens and they can give you hints if you ask for hints. And if you don't want to ask for hints, don't figure it out yourself. That's like cool. But I'm just saying, I know a few people who are like, I can't do that, I'm not smart enough. And I'm like, no. One, everyone's smart in certain ways. Even if you don't feel like book smart, you're smart at something. And like, two, like anyone can do this. Do not worry about it. Like, and even if you don't like complete it, it's still like kind of fun to do puzzles. But then again, I'm a puzzle lover, so this could just be me. If you do an escape room, I recommend the Hidden MN one. They do this fun thing where, I got my little props here. So they have these little puzzle pieces, and every time, it's hard to see because that one's see-through and these ones are shiny, but they have little symbols on them based on the theme of the room. And they all like attach, and you get one if you win the room you're in. It just kind of, I don't know, this little piece of plastic just makes me like, yeah, feel motivated. I don't know why it gives me such a sense of achievement, but it does. So I hope I've, pushed that enough, because I like escape rooms. I want people to do them. Alright, so that was all just Saturday, and now we have Sunday, which was another surprise party. This one was planned by like my parents and their siblings, and this was for my grandpa. He turned 90, so we had this big surprise thing, and some of us grandkids didn't even know what was going on. Like, we were just told to meet at my uncle's place, so we all met at my uncle's place, and then once everybody arrived, we basically got into like a parade line of cars and drove to my grandparents' house. And I honestly have no idea if like someone was distracting them in the house, because like I don't remember seeing them get back, so they must have just been distracted in the house somehow. And we all just like piled in, put tables in, brought food in, and got everything ready, and then they came over to the garage and we like shot a surprise. It was unfortunately kind of like a crummy day. Like, we wanted to do like an outside thing because it was really cramped in the garage because my family is so huge, but we managed it, and my grandpa said it was like, basically, he said it was the second best day of his life, which I'm just like, you have like a bunch of kids and a wife, so I don't know who's winning, but I thought it was cute. He was really excited. So I guess the moral of this video is that everybody likes surprise parties, and you should plan one. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!